Hi guys, Michael in Las Vegas. Sorry the video's late. Life kind of got in the way of life this week, and I tried to post it yesterday. Complain a little bit. My ex-wife decided that it was important to transfer my internet service to her new house, so mine left, and there you have it. I couldn't get the appropriate time on my telephone, a full-length video for 5 minutes on my phone, so you get it a day late, and I know that your guys' responsibility is to respond. I apologize for that. I want to talk about something I think is fairly interesting. We're all about to wrap this program up. It's been a big part of our lives, and some of us are looking for work, and others are kind of happy where they're at. That's fine. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. Not exactly sure if I want to be a social worker at this point. I love the field. I love my clients. I just think I want to go fishing. But so I want to talk about mandated reporting from an angle that has not previously been discussed. The reason I brought up us applying for jobs is because I applied for a job. I interviewed for a really cool job, and I did really good in the interview, and they've had hundreds of applications. They whittled it down to a few to interview, and now it's just going to be a couple people go to the final interview, and I'll be one of those couple people. And it's a forensic social work position, and working with the public defender's office, and it's really, really cool. It's one of the, probably one of the most prestigious social work jobs in the Valley, if you're into that kind of thing. If you're a grassy roots person and you like counting homeless and stuff, that's not for you. But if you're a social justice, criminal justice kind of person, there's not many positions out there that are better. But what I wanted to talk about real quick in the next remaining minutes or so is mandated reporting and how it does and does not pertain to defense teams with the Public Defender's Office. Our local social work board for the state of Nevada sent a request for information to the Attorney General's office and was very concerned because as mandated reporters, social workers need to be doing just that. You know, hey, this guy's hurting this kid or whatever's going on. And the social workers working for the Public Defender's Office were in the middle of these ethical problems because as soon as they would have one of the criminally charged individuals report that, yeah, he's in fact doing this, that, or the other, the social workers kind of run home to mommy and kind of report those things because that's kind of what social workers do. And when you hear these horrible reports, you got to report. I mean, that's just what we do, and that's what we've been trained to do and bred to do. Turns out, when you're a social worker working for one of the public defenders, at least in the state of Nevada, there's no such thing as mandated reporting. Mandated reporting is waived for social workers who work in that field because the number one priority is to ensure that the client gets off, that he's not found guilty. They're not necessarily interested in just making sure the person's rights are not being violated in court and have that public defender oversight. But the public defender's office takes great pride in getting X amount of people off, and they do it for a number of reasons, and not the least of which is because they want to make sure that these prosecutions are done right and that they're fair and those kind of things are happening. And it turns out that in the event that a criminally charged individual reports that he has done this horrible thing to a kid, even yesterday, whatever the case may be, the social workers are not allowed to report that to the authorities, and it's actually a felony if they do. There was clarification that came through from the Attorney General's office that said that through the professional rules of conduct, that social workers who work on these defense teams are held to the same protections as attorney-client privilege and therefore are not mandated reporting. And when I had the interview, that was a big deal that we discussed, and they wanted to know how I felt about that. And could I effectively work with somebody who has just reported to murdering a child or abusing this child or whatever the case may be. I think the example they gave was your client tells you that he's been molesting a 2-year-old for, 6 months or whatever, in the worst ways. But just something to think about that, I know it's not conventional wisdom, but it is the law. And this job, it would not be for everybody. But I'm looking forward to see where it's going to go, and maybe if I do decide to take that last interview with the public defender, we'll see what happens. But all the talk we've been doing about mandated reporting, just so you know, there's always exceptions to that, and some of them are ugly, and some of them are good, bad, and whatnot, but the point is they exist. And I just kind of wanted to throw that out there and give you guys something to think about. If you have any comments, please let me know. Have a great night. Goodbye.